DG made enough.
Hi, my name is Jayde Rivière. I'm an Olympic gold medalist, and I'm on Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Looking for the most beers on tap, great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.
The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike are taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver. Get down or lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Born in Pickering, Ontario. What was childhood like, and when did you start playing soccer?
Yeah, I was born in Pickering. I started playing soccer when I was around 3-4 years old. I'm an only child, so it was just me and my mom and dad my whole life. I got into soccer basically because of my parents. They said as an only child I had too much energy, so they kind of wanted to throw me into some sport where I could kind of just let loose. And soccer, my dad played soccer when he was growing up, so it was kind of natural how it worked out like that. And yeah, I started playing for West Rouge, and then I played for Pickering, and then later on I started playing with Markham Soccer Club, and then I got noticed from national team, and then I kind of just went overseas, and then, the rest is kind of history.
Absolutely. And
was that the only sport you played was really soccer?
No, so I played like every sport really. I'm like a very outgoing when it comes to athletics. So I played, in elementary school, you play a various amount of sports. I played basketball, I played volleyball. I love track and field. I did cross country. I did flag football. I did literally everything that was available to me.
Okay. And then after your minor soccer, you headed to Michigan to play for the Wolverines. What's your experience like been there so far?
It's been awesome, honestly. I love it here. I'm currently here right now. I just got back from Japan and came over, and our season starts soon. I'm going into my junior year now, but it kind of feels kind of like I've missed a little bit of my freshman and sophomore year because I've just been gone for so long. But no, the campus is amazing. The team and coaches are amazing, and I think that kind of just makes college feel much more like home, I guess.
That's one of me and Ryan's favorite colleges, that's for sure, for football and for hockey and obviously soccer.
Yeah,
we're big fans. We've interviewed a bunch of the hockey players, and we've also interviewed a few of the football players over the years. And I'm just gonna say, I like your Aaliyah shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
One of the greatest right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get to watch many of the hockey games down there in Michigan, or do you go to any,
or know anybody?
There's a couple of girls on the team that knows them more than I do. Some of them are dating them, so I've met them through that. But no, I've actually personally never been to a hockey game. I've never had the opportunity to, really. I've only been to football and basketball, really.
Okay.
Get out there and watch one of those hockey games. They're one of the best teams in the world, that Michigan college team.
It's funny because it wasn't until like the hockey draft, that I realized like, whoa, there's a couple of them that are literally in the draft, and they were within like the top 10. I'm like, wow, like they're
three in the top 5.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, like we actually have a good hockey program, and I never knew. So yeah, I should definitely get up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Any nicknames, and what's your favorite jersey number and why? I've noticed you've won a couple different jersey numbers with your international as well.
Right. You said nickname?
Yeah.
I have a couple. I'm not sure if I have a favorite. The simple one is kind of just Jay, but especially on the national team, we have about feels like 10 people that have a name starting with J. So you say Jay and everybody looks. So, yeah, that's the simple one. My family calls me Yuk because that's my middle name is Yuk Fun. So only kind of close family members call me that. Coaches like to call me Jayde Rue. Okay. My least favorite has to be Jayde Poo. So normally people just say Jade, that's kind of like a simple name. And then jersey number. Yeah, I've worn a couple with the national team. When you first get on there, it's kind of, they give you kind of a number and you kind of grow through it. So 23 was kind of my number for a little bit. And then 8 started to become more of my number just because when you go to tournaments, they have regulations around roster numbers, like the amount of people that you bring has to have a number through like 1 to 23 for World Cup or 1 through 18 for Olympics. So if you make the team, obviously my number can't be 23 because that's not the roster. But at the same time, it's also Diana Matheson's number as well. And, there's also rules around if a number is already taken and they're not retired, like obviously you can't take their number as well. So I've been between 23 and 8. I think I'm starting to become more of a number 8 now. So I think that's my number. And then at Michigan, I'm number 2.
Okay.
So if you were having a dream party, and you could invite 3 famous people, who are you inviting? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? Okay. Oh gosh, that's a hard question. I think one of them would definitely have to be Usain Bolt. Okay. Just because I've never met him, and I wanted to meet him at this Olympics, but then I realized he wasn't going. So that was kind of a bummer for me. I'd have to bring definitely a soccer player. I just don't know which one because there's so many I would want to bring, but it'd probably have to be between Cristiano Ronaldinho.
Okay.
Yaya Toure.
Nice.
So, yeah, or maybe I bring 2 of them to make 3.
Okay. Who would you say you mirror your game after or try and play like?
I think that I try my best to make my game around me. I don't really try to, mimic somebody else. Just because, one of a kind type player I want to be. But I've definitely watched closely of obviously how Ashley Lawrence plays. She was a big role model for me growing up and playing she was a midfielder as well, and I was when I was younger, and then she got turned into a fullback just like myself. So there's more of a relation around that. And she's just an awesome person as well to be around. And then on the men's side, I've been kind of looking at Marcelo. He's kind of like a player, especially Real Madrid. I grew up watching them a lot as well. So Marcelo was kind of like this crafty side of a fullback that I've never seen. He was really ballsy in the sense of he would, take on anybody, anywhere. And he does a whole bunch of tricks and moves. And as a fullback, when I was growing up, I think of fullback as a defensive player. And then I see him, being more attacking, Ashley being up in the final third half of the time. I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't have to be all about defending. So I think those two players have really helped me kind of form or mold what I kind of want to be as a fullback. So yeah, I would say those two for sure.
Those are two awesome ones to look up to. That's for sure.
And
yeah.
What are some of your goals for the next, say, 5 years?
Oh gosh. I feel like it's forever changing, honestly. My intent coming into college my freshman year was to finish my 4 years at Michigan and then to go overseas somewhere, whether that's France or in England. I think now, because soccer is changing, and especially because of our result at the Olympics, there's a whole bunch of talks of having, a Canadian soccer program now in Canada. So now that's kind of thrown into the pool. NWSL as well is now growing quite much. So, it can go anywhere. But I guess my goal would personally be to obviously finish school, and I would love to play in England if the opportunity came.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
So Tokyo, take me back to Tokyo, and when you guys arrived, and obviously we didn't get the chance to be there, but take us to like the opening ceremonies and the whole Olympics experience for you.
What goes through your mind during the opening ceremonies?
Well, we don't go to the opening ceremonies, so soccer has actually never gone to the opening ceremonies just because we start actually before the tournament starts itself. So we're already like into our games by the time the ceremonies begin. But it's definitely different because, COVID. So everything was virtual. So I guess we got to kind of attend it. And it was pretty cool attending it. You got to see what you would see on TV. Like, for me being in that position, I think I just soaked in everything because I was one of those people watching at home, and then I was actually in it. So I think that was something that was really cool to appreciate. To be honest, the Olympics didn't really hit me when we were actually at the Olympics, just because, I guess the regulations for us was we were in hotels and we would jump from hotel to hotel. And we weren't, because of COVID, we were very isolated. We were in a bubble. So we weren't allowed to leave our floor. We went to the meal room and training, and that was it. So there wasn't any sightseeing. There wasn't, any team activities allowed outside of the hotel. So in that sense, it was quite different. So it kind of felt like just a camp, because that's kind of what our camps would be like. And then, when we went the day before we would play Japan in the group stage, we saw the stadium, and that's when it really hit me. Like, you had, the Olympic rings everywhere. You had Tokyo 2020 everywhere. The stadium was just breathtaking, and being able to like actually step on the pitch before the game started, like that really hit me. Like, okay, well, this is really an Olympics. Like, we're really about to start our journey here, which felt like we've been training our whole lives really for, and it's about to begin tomorrow. So I think that was really cool. And being able to appreciate that moment, that would be definitely a memory I would take back with me.
That US game was unreal. Once you guys did that, I honestly thought you guys were going to win it all. I figured like that was the game, and then you guys finished it. So take me back to that game and take me back to the gold medal.
Well, that game was bittersweet for me because I wasn't able to take part just because of my 2 yellow cards that I got. So I had to sit in the stands and watch. But I mean, the team played amazing. Like, when you talk about a defensive team, like, that's the definition of a defensive team. Like, there was no goals against. It was just hard work, everyone hustling, everybody was just in it to win it. And I think for us, our mentality was just like, this is it. Like, this is the moment that we kind of all wait for, is to play a top tier team and to prove, why Canada shouldn't be overlooked. So I think that the mentality and the energy going into the game was already like, we're coming out with a win, and that's it regardless. And I think that we showed that. And as a team, I mean, after we actually did it, like, you know, you saw on TV, you saw the veterans like shed tears. And I think that was the defining moment for us younger players, because we felt, you know, the veterans always give back to us. They always give back to us every game, you know, being there, being mentors, being people who we watched on TV, and we were able to give that to them to show like, hey, we're like actually making history, and it's about time that we made history for them. Like that was a huge moment for us. And
Sinclair's a beauty.
Yeah, what was it like? What was it like playing with the GOAT, Christine Sinclair?
It's a lot of fun, actually. You know, she's such a humble person. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even know. Sometimes, you know, you can be a little arrogant, but she never shows it ever. And I love how she treats the youth. You know, I've heard so many stories of just, you know, the youth coming onto national teams, and because they're veterans, you know, they look differently at youth, like, oh, you're coming to take my spot, but not at all with Sinclair and the rest of the veterans. Like, they've welcomed us with open arms. They've took us under their wing. Chapman especially has took me under her wing, you know, showed me, especially coming in not playing fullback, she showed me just the basics and the fundamentals of it. So I'm really appreciative of the veterans. And yeah, it's awesome to play with Sinky, and she's just a hilarious person off of the pitch as well. She loves to goof around with us. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I always see her as like a tough girl. Like I remember she's been to the Olympics before, and the last one was really heartbreaking. Yeah. And that was when I just dawned on me, like, you know, she's mentally tough too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And what were your thoughts when they sent Grosso up for that final kick?
Ashley and I were right next to her, and, you know, we were kind of figuring out, like, oh, like, if we score this goal, does that mean we win? Like, do we need to save this and that? And we didn't realize that Julia was up next until she was gone. So, I mean, the best thing that we could have done, which the coaches really prepared us for, was penalties, because obviously you win or lose games in big tournaments like that. Like, we all watched the Euros, and we all saw how easily it is to win or lose off of a penalty kick. So they prepared us the best that we can. We took penalties after every single training session. So if you were to total it up till that game, it's probably over 200 penalties that we've all individually taken. So it was just another penalty. You know, we all believed in each other. Like, regardless of what happened, we would have had Julia's back. But for her to score and to be, you know, repping one of the younger players, I think that it's amazing, because, you know, a lot of people show doubt in some of the younger players, like, oh, they're too raw, or they're not ready yet. And you have someone who's 21 years old, steps up to the ball and, you know, doesn't even hesitate and takes her shot. She knows where she's going. She puts enough power behind it. She's practiced it, and she's the reason why we got a gold medal. So yeah, it's I'm really happy for her as an individual and as a person, just because Julia and I have been really close, just because we got our first cap together. We had our first debut together. You know, we won a gold medal together. So it's it's really special.
You get to play her in the college level as well, right? You guys play against each other, do you not?
No, she's in a different conference than myself. Okay. Yeah, she's Texas Longhorns, and I'm in Big Ten, so we're in a different conference. But I could possibly meet her in NCAAs.
Nice.
And she's actually from, I believe, right 5 minutes away from here, right, Mike?
Yeah, she is from Coquitlam. Yeah, that's right.
Port Coquitlam.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You were the youngest girl on Team Canada as well, were you not?
Yes and no. So with Jordan is actually 4 months younger than me, but if you were to look at like roster, then yes.
Okay. Any pre-game rituals or routines for you?
Yeah. I always have to have music in. I always have to listen to music. I love to listen to soca music, just because it's like brings me back to my Caribbean roots, and it's very bubbly music. So I think that really helps with energy. we have like pregame meals that we have to have with the national team. Like you have to have a lot of carbs before a game. So pancakes are actually our ritual. Everywhere we go, whether it's Japan or it's in Canada, we have to have pancakes, and obviously our Canadian maple syrup has to come with us. And there's also spaghetti, that's out there too. So
with maple syrup
are number one.
It's spaghetti with maple syrup. Okay. What about favorite sports movie?
Sorry, my favorite
sports movie.
Sports movie. I actually really like The Blind Side. I don't know if you ever watched it. It's like I cry every time, but yeah, I love how it's based off of a true story, and I love how there's an African American as the lead role as well. And obviously, it's not soccer, it's football, but it's still just, it hits differently when you watch it. So I think that would be my favorite sports movie.
That's a good one.
We get that a lot too from most of our football players that we interview.
Right.
A lot of them like that. Michael Orr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jayde, take me back to your first international goal.
Oh, that feels like so long ago. Well, it was like in the Olympic qualifiers, the CONCACAF. It was against St. Kitts. I remember it quite vividly. I remember that Sinky broke the goal scoring record like just before it happened. I remember Jesse served a ball into the box and it got headed out and it just came right to me. And I remember I kind of like waved people off. I don't know why. I think I'm like, I got it, guys. And then I just took a touch and I just hit it, honestly. Yeah, that was a crazy moment just because it's my first, goal with the senior team. And just because my parents were there too, I think that really helped, seeing them in the stands. And there's like a video that kind of mirrors to my dad, and he's the only one standing up and like clapping just like super hard because and he used to train me when I was younger, and I used to hit balls like that all the time. Just like he would always just drop kick the ball, I'd control it, take a touch and fire it. So I think that seeing him be so happy that I scored the goal kind of showed like all the work that we did paid off. And obviously being at the Olympic qualifiers showed that all the work that we did pay off. So it was a really special moment.
Okay,
absolutely.
If there was $1,000 prize in the line and you had to sing one karaoke song, what song are you singing?
A karaoke song.
I know. I don't sing it either.
I don't sing often, really. Not like I don't try. I'd say I wouldn't try because I know I'm not good to sing. So, but I feel like it'd have to be like "All of Me" by John Legend, just because I know all the lyrics.
There you go.
So yeah, if I'm about to win,
that's a good one. That's a good one. What's your favorite Gatorade color?
Gatorade color?
Yeah.
Well, recently, like at training the other day, they do like a mix between the blue and green, and it kind of makes like this. It's kind of like a greeny but purpley kind of color, and it tastes really good. So I don't know how they do it, but yeah, that'd be my go-to.
Okay. Any hidden talents?
No, not really. I don't have any hidden talents.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't have any.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah, just want to thank you so much for taking the time for us and coming on and chatting with us. We're obviously big fans of you last Olympics. And
thank you for having me. I know you kind of said to have it, so
there it is.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome.
Looking for the most beers on tap, great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.